Hello everyone. Today I want to share how I crocheted this doll with a swivel head. She's wearing a jumpsuit, with a wig like this. The jumpsuit has a button. The doll is quite anatomically accurate. She also has underwear crocheted in a different color, which I'll show later. She has socks, knees, elbows, wrists, and fingers. The outfit can be taken off. A very detailed tutorial on how to crochet the doll's body is available via the link on my channel below this video, in another video. She also has crocheted underwear, consisting of a top and shorts. I explain in detail in another of my videos how to crochet this kind of rotating head. In this video, I will show how I crocheted this kind of hair, how I attached it to the head, and how to crochet this little jumpsuit. It consists of ordinary turning rows, the yoke. I will show in detail how to crochet the yoke. Next, I simply knit downwards, and here I'm knitting a pattern. Please write in the comments exactly what this pattern is called. If I'm not mistaken, it's called a fisherman's net, but I might be wrong. Perhaps this pattern has a different name. Please write to me in the comments below the video. I knitted the doll from 100% cotton yarn, with a thickness of 50 grams and 125 meters, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a little thinner. This is how she dresses. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm always happy to answer. Subscribe to my channel. Let's knit together. This is the doll we ended up with. Let's start knitting the yoke for our dress. This is a universal calculation for the yoke. It can basically be used for any size. I didn't knit the cardigan by myself, which is why I like it. It's also very versatile. So we take a rectangular yoke, and I will knit it in back and forth rows. Here, we will have back and forth rows. You can also knit it as one continuous piece. Whichever you prefer, there just won't be back and forth rows, but consecutive rows instead. Since I am knitting a toy, my calculation is small. I will knit 6 chain stitches. Here we will have 1 stitch for expansion. Here I will have 5 chain stitches, and 1 stitch for expansion. Here there are 12 stitches, which is 2 groups of 6, with 1 stitch for expansion, then 5 stitches, and 1 stitch for expansion. So, in total, we have 14 stitches for the sleeves and 24 for the front and back sides. So, it comes to 38 stitches. We begin knitting 38 stitches. And then we will increase by 3 stitches each time. Now I will show you how I will knit this. I will have only 3 rows for the yoke. You knit as many rows as you need for your armhole. That's why I say the size is quite versatile. You can use the calculation for any size. The only thing is that for this you will just need to knit a small 10 by 10 cm sample rectangle. In this case, measure how many chain stitches you have. or stitches per 1 centimeter and recalculate for this size. More precisely, to your suitable size. Let's start knitting. As I already mentioned, I am casting on our chain stitches. Six stitches, 1 stitch, 5 stitches, 1 stitch, 12 stitches, 1 stitch. Five stitches, 1 stitch, and 1 turning chain. Here we have cast on our chain of chain stitches. Next, as I already said, we start knitting in back and forth rows. We crochet 6 single crochet stitches into the second loop from the hook. And we begin expanding our yoke. We crochet 3 single crochet stitches into 1 chain stitch. And I place a marker in the middle stitch. I will have an increase here. So, in all 3 rows, my increase does not shift. That means I will place it in the middle stitch. Next, we crochet 5 single crochets according to our pattern. And again, we make increases at the increase stitch. I crochet 3 single crochets into 1 stitch. I have 2 increases and 1 raglan stitch. 1 stitch for the raglan. Got it? Next, we crochet 12 chain stitches. We crocheted 12 stitches. The expansion is happening again. These are 3 single crochet stitches into 1 loop. Place the marker in the middle stitch. Next, again 5. This is for the handle. We've reached the increase again. 3 single crochet stitches in 1 loop. Place the marker again. And I begin to hide the tail on the last front loop. We now need to crochet the last 6 single crochet stitches. Loop on the needle. Red there. The lifting loop will be our first loop. We turn our knitting like this. Now we have There will already be 7 stitches on the front panel due to the increase we had in the previous row. We knitted 7 single crochet stitches, then we crochet our loop into the increase loop. In the middle of the previous row, crochet 3 single crochets into 1 stitch again. Place the marker again in the middle stitch, and then we should crochet so that it turns out as we had. There was an increase on both sides in the previous row, so here there should be 7 single crochets. 7 single crochets, then again crochet 3 single crochets into 1 stitch, and place the marker in the second stitch for the next increase row. Next, we need to make 14 single crochet stitches. Again, 3 single crochet stitches into 1 stitch. Again, 7 single crochet stitches. Make 3 single crochet stitches into 1 stitch, then insert the second marker into the second single crochet stitch. Marker. And for the last shelf, we need to crochet 7 single crochets. The 7th chain stitch will be our first single crochet in the next row. We begin the next row here. This is my last row for widening since I am crocheting for a doll. You can crochet to whatever length you need for your doll. Up to the armhole length you need. We need to crochet 8 single crochets. After crocheting 8 single crochets, we work 3 single crochets into the next stitch. In the next stitch, crochet 3 single crochets and insert the marker in the middle. Next, crochet 9 single crochets. Each time, we increase by 2 for the sleeves and back of front. Since we work in rows with turns, the increase is by 1 stitch. Stitch. After crocheting 9 single crochets, crochet 3 single crochets into 1 stitch. Next, crochet 16 single crochets. Three single crochet stitches into 1 stitch. Three single crochet stitches into 1 stitch. 1 stitch. Next, 9. Again, 3 single crochet stitches into 1 stitch. And again, for the last one, we crochet 8 single crochet stitches. So, this is the yoke we ended up with. Here it is. Next, we crochet the joining row. We leave the markers in place. Markers will come in handy for us. Next, I will continue knitting exactly the same way with turning rows. So, if you are knitting dresses, you can basically join the knitting and just knit in the round. So that it fits comfortably on the yoke. If this is a yoke for a cardigan that will have buttons, or if you decide to make it with buttons. Basically, this is a universal yoke. You can simply knit back and forth rows to the length you need. Now I will show how to join it, and we will leave an armhole for the sleeves. The sleeves can be knitted separately later, lengthened, or made short like a t-shirt. We knitted the first stitch as a chain stitch, which will imitate the first single crochet. We crocheted 9 single crochet stitches up to the marker. Next, we join right here. We crochet 1 stitch on the hook and 1 stitch at the next marker. And this will create an armhole for the doll's arm. If you need to increase the volume, you can crochet a chain here. Then you will increase the armhole size. This is a little hack if you are knitting a yoke on a large-sized garment. For this, we left markers. That is, we knit the stitch from the previous marker, and connect it with the stitch from the next marker into the same chain stitch. That's it, it's knitted. Next, we will simply crochet in the round. Next, we crochet 18 single crochet stitches. 18 single crochet stitches. Similarly, we crochet the next stitch and the previous stitch of the marker to create this kind of gusset for the handle. Next, we work on the hooks. And then we crochet 8 single crochet stitches again. Actually, 9, sorry. Here we have our yoke assembled. With openings for the handles. Next, we simply continue crocheting either in back and forth rows or fully in the round until you reach the desired length. I'll explain how to crochet a wig or hair. We crochet a regular circle up to 42 single crochet stitches. That is, we make a magic ring with 6 single crochet stitches. 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. Next, we crochet into the first stitch at the beginning of the row and make a chain of chain stitches. Here is the main point. We make chain stitches to the length you want the hair to be. In my case, I don't want to make very long hair for my doll. You can make bangs, for example, by making the first 15 stitches shorter, about 10 to 15 chain stitches. Then make longer ones, for example, 30 chain stitches. 30 is just the average length. In my case, I knitted. I won't make a straight fringe, but I will style it. So basically, I plan to make everything approximately the same length. I knitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I will knit 20 stitches at a time. I crocheted 20 chain stitches. And what do I do next? I crochet a single crochet stitch into each stitch. I should end up with 20 single crochet stitches. I have crocheted 20 single crochet stitches. And this is how we got the first hair strand. And so we crochet all around the perimeter. As I already said, my hair will be of one length, therefore, I will crochet 20 single crochet stitches everywhere. You can, for example, make bangs or hair of different lengths. From here on, it depends on how much imagination you have. And then I will show how to attach this wig to the head. So, here I have secured my wig. Like this, with pins, securing every strand of hair that we braided. This is the hairstyle that this cutie got. I want to show how I will sew this together. We take a needle and the same yarn we used to make the hair. Before that, I tied the ends of the threads between the wig and the head just in case. You know, it's like paranoid schizophrenia that your toy will come undone if you don't tie every little knot together. I know that some people use superglue and join pieces not with knots, but with superglue. By the way, I want to try an interesting life hack sometime. For this, it's best to have a superglue gun. I don't have one, so I haven't tried it yet. Let's get back to our wig. Now I carefully untie pin after pin and start knitting each hair strand like this, one by one. I'll show you. I will hide the ends later. I will knit each hair strand like this, one by one. It's not very convenient to start knitting at first, but it gets better later. This is how our hair strands start to get knitted. And meanwhile, I'm already taking out the pins. This is how I will secure the entire wig by each strand of hair. To be continued. To be continued.